Right, let's talk shop about commercial leases. These agreements are the backbone of any business renting its space. Whether you're a landlord or a tenant, understanding this document is crucial. It's not just about signing on the dotted line. It's about protecting your interests and ensuring a smooth rental experience. Think of a commercial lease like the foundations of a building. If you get the foundations wrong, you're in for a bumpy ride. A poorly understood lease can lead to disputes, unexpected costs, and even legal battles. Nobody wants that hassle. That's why I'm here to break down the complexities of commercial leases into plain English. We'll cover everything from the key players to the nitty-gritty of rent, maintenance, and what happens if things go south. By the end of this, you'll be well equipped to navigate the world of commercial leases with confidence. First things first, let's meet the key players in a commercial lease. You've got the landlord, the owner of the property. They want to make sure their investment is safe and sound. Then, there's the tenant, the business renting the space. They need a space to operate and grow their business. And let's not forget the brokers, the middlemen or women, who help bring landlords and tenants together. They play a vital role in finding the right match and negotiating the terms of the lease. Think of them as the property matchmakers. Each party has their own set of rights and responsibilities outlined in the lease. It's like a roadmap for the entire rental journey. So whether you're a landlord looking to lease out your property or a tenant searching for the perfect business location, understanding the roles of each player is essential. Now let's talk about the lease term. This is like the timeline of your agreement. It specifies the start and end dates of the lease, outlining how long the tenant has the right to occupy the property. Commercial leases can range from a few years to a decade or even longer depending on the agreement. But what happens when the lease is up? That's where renewal options come in. These are clauses in the lease that give the tenant the right to extend the lease for a specific period, often under pre-agreed terms. It's like having an option to stay on for another season. Renewal options provide security and flexibility for tenants while giving landlords some predictability. It's a win-win situation when both parties are on the same page. So whether you're signing a short-term or long-term lease, understanding the ins and outs of the lease term and renewal options is vital for both landlords and tenants. Section 4. Understanding rent and additional costs. Rent, the lifeblood of any rental agreement. In a commercial lease, the rent structure can be a bit more complex than residential leases. You've got your base rent, which is the fixed amount paid monthly or annually for the use of the space. But wait, there's more. Commercial leases often include additional costs like common area maintenance charges, property taxes, and insurance. These costs are typically shared among tenants in a building or complex. Then there's the dreaded late fee, a penalty for missing rent payments. It's like a friendly reminder to stay on top of your payments. Landlords, make sure these charges are clearly outlined in the lease. Tenants, factor these costs into your budget to avoid any surprises down the line. Section 5. Navigating security deposits, property use, and lease termination. Let's talk security deposits. This is a sum of money the tenant pays upfront as a form of insurance for the landlord. It covers potential damages to the property or unpaid rent. Think of it as a safety net for both parties. Now, on to property use. Commercial leases often have restrictions on how the tenant can use the space. For example, a property leased for a restaurant might not allow for retail operations. It's all about making sure the use aligns with the lease agreement. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room: lease termination. This can happen for various reasons, like a breach of contract or if one party doesn't fulfill their obligations. It's important to have a clear understanding of the termination clauses in your lease, outlining the procedures and consequences. Remember, a well-understood lease is a recipe for a successful landlord-tenant relationship. So, whether you're a seasoned property owner or just starting, take the time to read, understand, and negotiate the terms of your commercial lease.